lecture, we are going to look at the relation of forces in two inertial frames. So now we are going to see that how the forces are related in two inertial frames. So earlier we have seen how the electric field get transformed from one inertial frame to another. And in this article we are going to see the relation of forces in the two frames. So in this we will consider the two frames. Let's say one is the S frame and another is the S prime frame. So as usual, the S prime frame is moving with velocity v along the x-axis direction. And this S frame is the lab frame. Now let's consider some charge present over here. So this charge is, let's say this is a positive charge. So this is a plus Q charge. Now this charge is moving with a certain velocity. So let's say there is some force acting on this charge. So if there is a force, there will be acceleration. So let's say there is some force acting on this charge. And let's say that the force in the S frame is given by F vector. So if there is some force acting on this charge in the S frame, there will be acceleration because force is equal to mass into acceleration. So if there is force, there is acceleration and hence there is change in velocity. So if there is acceleration means there is a change in velocity. So let's consider that at any instant of time, the velocity of this charge is u vector in S frame. So all these quantities, this u vector and f vector, these are measured in S frame. So there is some charge q and there is some force acting on this charge. And let's say the force is f vector as seen by the observer in S frame. So if there is some force means there is acceleration, and if there is acceleration means there is a change in velocity. So let's consider that at any instant of time, the velocity of the charge is u vector. So velocity will be changing with respect to time. With time the velocity will be changing, but I am considering velocity at any instant of time, and let's say that is u vector. Now as seen by the observer in S prime frame, the force will be F prime vector. So F vector is the force acting on this charge q in S frame, and F prime vector is the force acting on this same charge q in S prime frame as seen by the observer in S prime frame. And if u vector is the velocity of this charge in S frame, then the velocity in S prime frame will be different from u. And let's say the velocity of this same charge is given by u prime vector. So u prime vector is the velocity of this charge q as seen by the observer in S prime frame. So let a particle has an instantaneous velocity at any instant of time. Instantaneous velocity u vector in S frame. So in S frame, velocity of this particle, so here I have considered a charge, so velocity of this particle is u vector, and in S prime frame the particle is observed to have different velocity, and let's consider that is u prime vector. So velocity of this particle in S prime frame is u prime vector. So what is the force acting on the particle in S frame? That we have supposed to be F vector, and force acting on the same particle as seen by the observer in S prime frame is given by F prime vector. And we want to find the relation of F vector and F prime vector. So we want to find the relation of forces in two inertial frames. Now what are the various parameters that we have in S frame? So in S frame we have the x coordinate, y coordinate, z coordinate and the time t. And other than this we have velocity. So velocity is given by u vector. So in S frame velocity of the particle is u vector. And in S prime frame we have x prime, y prime, z prime, t prime. So these are the parameters. Other than these parameters we have u prime vector, which is the velocity of this same particle in s prime frame. So this u vector has three components. So this u vector will have three components. One will be along x-axis, another will be along y-axis, and another will be along z-axis. So this u vector can be written as ux I cap, uy j cap plus uz k cap. So we can write this u vector in terms of its coordinates, in terms of its components. So u vector can be written as ux I cap plus uy j cap plus uz k cap. And in the s prime frame, the velocity of the same particle is u prime vector. So this can also be divided into three components. One is along x-axis, which is ux prime. Then another one is along y-axis, which is uy prime. And the last one is along z-axis, which is uz prime. So these are the parameters that we have in s and s prime frame. And also we will be finding out the momentum. So in this article we will be finding the momentum. And why do we find momentum? Because force is related with momentum. We want to relate forces in two inertial frames, and we know from the Newton's second law, force is given by rate of change of momentum. So force is given by rate of change of momentum. To find force, we will need to find momentum. So let's say momentum of this particle in S frame is given by P vector. So this momentum in S frame will have three components because it is a vector quantity. So it will have three components. So one will be Px, second one will be Py, and the third one will be Pz. And similarly, in S prime frame, this same particle will have momentum, and let's say that momentum is P prime vector. So every quantity in S prime frame is represented by a prime. So velocity is represented by prime, momentum will also be represented by prime. So it will also have three components. One will be Px prime, second one will be Py prime, and last one will be Pz prime. And the last quantity that we measure is force in the two frames. In the S frame, the force on the particle is denoted by F vector, and the force on the same particle in S prime frame is represented by F prime vector. So this force also has three components. So in S frame, it has the component along x-axis, then the component along y-axis, and at last the component along z-axis. And this F prime force, which is the force acting on the same particle in S prime frame, this will also have three components. One will be Fx prime, then Fy prime, and at last Fz prime. So what do we want to find is, we want to find the relation of F vector and F prime vector. So what do we want? We want to find the relation of Fx, Fy, Fz in terms of Fx prime, Fy prime, Fz prime. So we want to find the relation of these components in terms of these components, because we want to find the relation between F and F prime. So for that, first of all, we will find momentum. We will find these momentum, expression of these momentums, and then we will do their derivative that will give us the corresponding forces. So this will be the method used by us. First we will find the momentum, expression of momentum, then we will do its time derivative that will give us the corresponding components of the forces. For example, Fx will be nothing but dpx by dt. So force is equal to dp by dt. So Fx will be equal to dpx by dt. Similarly, Fy will be equal to dpy by dt, and Fz will be equal to dpz by dt. So we will solve these expressions and we will find the relation of Fx, Fy, Fz with Fx prime, Fy prime and Fz prime. And before that, we are going to see how the mass gets transformed from one frame to another frame. So this particle is moving with velocity u in s frame, and the same particle is moving with velocity u prime in s prime frame. And let's say the mass of this particle at rest, the rest mass of this particle is m0 or m0. So m0 is the rest mass of this particle, means the mass of the particle when it is at rest, when its velocity is 0. So whatever will be the mass when its velocity is 0, that is called as the rest mass of the particle. But when the particle starts moving with a certain velocity, so in s frame it is moving with u velocity, and in s prime frame it is moving with some other velocity. So the mass of the particle changes. When the particle has some velocity, its mass is different from its rest mass. And how do we write its mass? So mass of any particle when it is moving with velocity, let's say it is moving with velocity v. So I'm just taking an example, so do not get confused with this v and this v. So they both are different. So I'm just supposing that, let's say if you have some particle which is at rest and its rest mass will be m0. Now if this particle starts moving with velocity v, what will be the mass? So the mass of the particle when it is in motion is given by the rest mass divided by under root of 1 minus velocity of the particle. So here the velocity I have taken is v. So this is just an example which I am giving to tell you how the mass is related with the rest mass, how the mass of the particle in motion is related with the rest mass of the particle. So the mass of the particle when it is moving with velocity v, let's say, that is given by m0 divided by under root of 1 minus v square by c square. So here v is the velocity of the particle with which it is moving. So we have to divide this by under root of 1 minus v square by c square. So this is how we find the mass of a particle when it is in motion. And we will need this relation when we will find the momentum. So to find force, first of all we have to find momentum, and momentum is nothing but mass of the particle times its velocity. So if you want to find px, let's say if you want to find px, in that case you will find the mass of the particle in s frame, because px is the x component of the momentum of the particle in s frame. So px is the x component of momentum in s frame. So px will be written as the mass of the particle in s frame. So this momentum is the x component of momentum in s frame. So this will be written as mass of the particle in s frame times the x component of the velocity in s frame. So you have to take all the quantities in the same frame. If you want to find px, which is the momentum, x component of the momentum in s frame, that will be written as mass of the particle in s frame times the x component of the velocity of the particle in s frame. Because here we are finding x component of momentum, therefore you have to use the x component of velocity only. So what will be the mass? Mass will be given by m prime. So you will find the mass using this formula. So we have to write the mass of the particle over here in s frame. So in s frame this particle is moving with velocity u. And let's say its rest mass is given by m0. So what will be the mass of this particle in s frame? So the mass will be given by m0 divided by under root of 1 minus u square by c square. So instead of v square by c square, you will have u square by c square, because the particle is moving with velocity u in s frame. So to find the mass of the particle in s frame, you will have to write the mass of the particle as m0 divided by under root of 1 minus u square by c square. So that whole expression will be inserted over here. So mass of the particle in s frame will be given by m0 divided by under root of 1 minus u square by c square times the x component of velocity, and x component of velocity is ux. So that will be ux. So in this manner you will find Px, Py, Pz, and then we are going to do their derivative with respect to time. That will give us Fx, Fy and Fz. The diagram that we have drawn on the previous page is similar to this one. So in this case, what is different? Now I have taken the parallel plates which are at rest in S frame, and the charge Q is present in between these two plates. So the parallel plate capacitor is there, and the parallel plate capacitor is at rest in S frame. So there is electric field. So electric field will be there in S frame, and let's say the electric field is given by E vector in S frame. So this E vector will also have the three components Ex, Ey and Ez. And due to the influence of this electric field, this charge will be accelerating. This charge will be accelerating towards the negative plate, and which means that it will have a velocity. Its velocity will be changing with time. So let's say at any instant its velocity is u vector in S frame. So this charge is kept in between these two charged parallel plates, and these plates, they are at rest in S frame, but this charge has instantaneous velocity in S frame, and let's say that is u vector. Now there is another frame S prime which is moving with velocity v along the plus x axis direction. As seen by the observer in the S prime frame, these plates will be in motion, and the charge will also be having some other velocity, and let's say that is u prime vector. So in the previous diagram we had just a charge which was having u vector velocity in S frame and u prime vector velocity in S prime frame. But over here I have taken the parallel plates also. So this we will use when we will find the relation of force on a charge. So in this article we are just going to find the relation of forces in two inertial frames for the case of a particle. And after that we are going to find the force on this charge due to the electric field. So just keep in mind that when we are going to do that article, so in that case we will take the parallel plates, charge will be kept in between these two parallel plates, and due to the influence of this electric field, this charge will have an instantaneous velocity, let's say u vector, and the same charge will have a velocity of u prime vector in S prime frame. And at the end of this derivation which we are going to do, at the end of this derivation what we will suppose is, we will suppose that this S prime frame is the particles frame. This S prime frame is nothing but the particles frame, means u prime will be put equal to 0. So we will just suppose at the end of this derivation that u prime is equal to 0. The velocity of this particle in S prime frame is 0 at some instant of time. And then we will come to the new formulas, the new relation of fx and fx prime, fy and fy prime, and fz and fz prime. So this I am telling you just to let you know that what are the steps we are going to do. So first of all we are going to find the general relation of fx and fx prime, fy and fy prime, fz and fz prime. So we are going to find the general relation, and after finding the relations we will put u prime is equal to 0, because we are going to consider that this S prime frame is the particles frame, means the particle is momentarily at rest in S prime frame. So its velocity in S prime frame will be put equal to 0, and by putting u prime is equal to 0 we will come to the new formulas, new relation of fx and fx prime, fy and fy prime, and so fz and fz prime. And after that we are going to find the relation of force on this charge. So this derivation that we are about to do, this derivation is for the case of any particle. But after this article, we are going to find the force on this charge which is under the influence of electric field. So when it is under the influence of electric field, it will gain some velocity and it will experience some force in S frame and it will experience some force in S prime frame. And then we are going to find the relation of the two forces. So that we will do in the next article. So before that, we are going to find the general relation of these 6 parameters. Now to find fx in terms of fx prime, fy in terms of fy prime, fz in terms of fz prime, what do we need is we need to find px in terms of px prime, py in terms of py prime and pz in terms of pz prime. So when you will find px in terms of px prime, then you will do its derivative with respect to time and hence you will be able to get fx in terms of fx prime. And similar thing you will do with py and pz. So you will do its time derivative and you will be able to find the formula of the relation of fy in terms of fy prime and fz in terms of fz prime. So first of all, we are going to find px in terms of px prime. Now px is the momentum, the x component of the momentum of this particle in S frame. So px will be nothing but mass of the particle in S frame. So mass of the particle in S frame will be m0, which is the rest mass, divided by under root of 1 minus u square by c square. Because in S frame the velocity of the particle is u. Therefore we will write the mass as m0 divided by under root of 1 minus u square by c square. So this is the mass of the particle in S frame times mass times velocity. So we are finding x component of the momentum in S frame. So velocity over here will be just the x component. Just the x component of the velocity in S frame, and x component of the velocity is ux in S frame. And similarly you can find py and pz. So you have just found px, then you can find py and you can find pz. Now over here, first of all you will find under root of 1 minus u square by c square, because this same factor will appear in py also, in the expression of py also, and in the expression of pz also. So first of all you are going to find this expression in terms of primed variables. So you are going to find the expression under root of 1 minus u square by c square in terms of primed variables, because on the right hand side we will write all the variables, all the parameters in terms of S prime frame. So over here this ux is the velocity in S frame. So we will convert this velocity in terms of the primed variables, and also this under root of 1 minus u square by c square will be converted into the parameters which are in S prime frame. So on the left hand side you will have the parameters in S frame, and on the right hand side you will try to make the parameters in terms of S prime frame. So first of all you will take under root of 1 minus u square by c square. So you will solve this one. So what is u? So first of all u vector is nothing but ux I cap plus uy j cap plus uz k cap. Now first of all you want to find this ux in terms of ux prime, uy in terms of uy prime, and uz in terms of uz prime. So this you will take from the formulas that we have done in the previous lecture of velocity transformations. So there we have derived ux prime is equal to ux minus v over 1 minus v into ux by c square. The second transformation of velocity was uy prime is equal to uy divided by 1 minus vux by c square times gamma, and the last one was uz prime is equal to uz divided by 1 minus vux by c square times gamma. But over here we want ux in terms of ux prime, uy in terms of uy prime, uz in terms of uz prime. But here we have ux prime in terms of ux, uy prime in terms of uy. So you want to do the inverse transformation. So for that, this equation will become, as we have studied in the previous lecture, how do we find the inverse transformations. So you will get ux is equal to ux prime plus v. So instead of minus v, you will have plus v. Divide by 1 plus v ux prime by c square. So this is the first equation. Then the second equation you can write from here. So you will have uy is equal to uy prime divided by 1 plus v ux prime by c square times gamma. And the third equation will be uz is equal to uz prime over 1 plus v ux prime by c square times gamma. So we have written ux in terms of ux prime, uy in terms of uy prime, uz in terms of uz prime. Here we want to find is the magnitude. We want to find u square, square of the magnitude of u. So square of the magnitude is nothing but equal to ux square plus uy square plus uz square. So here you have ux, uy and uz. So now you will put these three equations over here and then you will find. So what do you want to find is, you want to find 1 minus u square by c square. So you will find 1 minus u square by c square from here, and that will come out to be equal to 1 minus u square by c square will come out to be 1 minus u prime square by c square divided by gamma times 1 plus v ux prime by c square. So here will be gamma square 1 plus vux prime by c square whole square. So this will be the equation of 1 minus u square by c square after you will put these values over here. So these three equations will be inserted over here and then you will find 1 minus u square by c square, and that will come out to be equal to this expression. So what do you want to find is, you want to find under root of 1 minus u square by c square. So now you will do it under root. So under root of 1 minus u square by c square will be equal to under root of 1 minus u prime square by c square divided by gamma times 1 plus vux prime by c square. So you will get this expression. So this you will do by yourself, this simplification of ux square plus uy square plus uz square, and then solving 1 minus u square by c square. So you will do this calculation by yourself and you will get this final result. So what will be px? So we were about to find px. So for that, first of all, we have simplified the denominator. We have found this denominator in terms of primed variables. So you can see that you have u prime over here and ux prime over here, and also in terms, instead of ux you will write the expression of ux. So you will write this equation, you will use this equation over here, because on the right hand side you have to write the primed variables only. So you will transform these variables in terms of primed variables. So instead of ux you will write ux prime plus v over 1 plus vux prime by c square. So first of all, find px. So what will be px? It will be equal to m0. Now divide by under root of 1 minus u square by c square. So that will be under root of 1 minus u prime square by c square times gamma 1 plus vux prime by c square. So this is the expression of under root of 1 minus u square by c square times ux. Now what is ux? It is ux prime plus v divide by 1 plus v ux prime by c square. Now over here you can see that this factor cancels with this one. And another thing over here you can see is that we have m0 divided by under root of 1 minus u prime square by c square. So we have seen that m0 divided by under root of 1 minus u square by c square. This whole thing is the mass of the particle in s frame, because the particle has a velocity of u in s frame. So this expression, this factor is the mass of the particle in s frame. Now what is this term m0 divided by under root of 1 minus u prime square by c square? Now what is u prime? U prime is the velocity of this same particle in s prime frame, and here you have m0 divided by under root of 1 minus u prime square by c square. So this term is nothing but the mass of this particle in s prime frame. So earlier this was the mass of the particle in s frame, because here you had u square. But over here you have 1 minus u prime square by c square. So this term will be the mass of the particle in s prime frame. So you can replace this term and write it as m prime. So this is the mass of the particle in s prime frame times gamma as it is. So times gamma as it is, and you have ux prime plus v. So momentum, x component of the momentum of the particle in s frame has come out to be equal to, now you can open these brackets, and that will be gamma times m prime ux prime plus m prime v. Now what is this m prime ux prime? So this is the mass of the particle in s prime frame, and ux prime is the x component of the velocity of the particle in the s prime frame. So mass into velocity, so these two quantities are in s prime frame. So mass times velocity will be nothing but the momentum. So this mass into velocity will be the momentum in s prime frame. So this will be the x component of the momentum in s prime frame. So this will be written as gamma times px prime plus m prime times v. Now this m prime, which is the mass of the particle in s prime frame, this can be written as, so we know that energy E is given as, now we know that energy of any particle, let's say a particle has a mass m, a total mass m, so what will be the corresponding energy? That will be E is equal to mc square. Over here in s prime frame, the mass of the particle is m prime. Mass of the particle as seen in s prime frame is m prime. So what will be the energy associated with it? That will be m prime square. M prime into c square. So E prime will be m prime into c square. So what will be m prime from here? That will be E prime by c square. So mass of the particle in s prime frame can be written as its energy in prime frame divided by c square. So instead of m prime you can write E prime by c square. So the x component of the momentum in s frame is written as gamma times px prime plus m prime into v. So m prime can be written as E prime by c square times v as it is. Now similarly you can find the relation of py with py prime. So here we have found the relation of px with px prime. Now we can find the similar relation of py with py prime. Now what is py? Py is equal to, which is the y component of the momentum in s frame. So this will be equal to mass of the particle in s frame times the y component of the velocity in s frame. So mass of the particle in S frame is given by m0 divided by under root of 1 minus u square by c square. And what is the y component of velocity in S frame? That is uy. So here we will use the relation of under root of 1 minus u square by c square, and also we will use the velocity transformation. We will write uy in terms of the primed variables. So this will be equal to m0 divide by, so you will use the expression of under root of 1 minus u square by c square, and that will be under root of 1 minus u prime square by c square times gamma into 1 plus v into ux prime by c square. So this is the expression of under root of 1 minus u square by c square. Now we will write uy in terms of uy prime, and that is uy prime divided by gamma times 1 plus vux prime by c square. So this term will cancel with this one, and this one will cancel with this one. Now what is this m0 divided by under root of 1 minus u prime square by c square? This is nothing but mass of the particle in S prime frame, and this can be written as m prime, and you have uy prime as it is. So this is the mass of the particle in S prime frame, and this is the y component of the velocity of the particle in S prime frame. So mass times velocity will nothing but, it will give nothing but py prime. So this will be y component of the momentum in S prime frame. So you can see that py has come out to be equal to py prime. Now in the same way you can find the relation of pz with pz prime. So for that you will write the mass times the z component of velocity, and you will use the velocity transformation. You will write uz in terms of uz prime. So that you will do by yourself. So the result will be pz is equal to pz prime. So px has come out to be, it is related to px prime by this expression. Py is equal to py prime and pz is equal to pz prime. Now we want to find the expression of force. So for finding the expression of force, we have to do the time derivative of these equations. So let's take the time derivative of this first equation. So fx, which is the x component of the force on the particle in S frame, this will be nothing but dpx by dt. So we have to take the time derivative of the right hand side. Now gamma is a constant, it is independent of time. So this can be taken outside, and inside you will have dpx prime by dt, because you are doing the derivative with respect to the t variable. So you will have dpx prime by dt plus v by c square is a constant term, and you will have de prime by dt. Because the particle is accelerating due to the effect of this force, the particle is accelerating, and hence its momentum is changing with time and its energy is also changing with time. So here we want to find first of all the expression of dpx prime by dt and de prime by dt. So for this, first of all, what we can do is I can write this as dpx prime by dt prime into dt prime by dt. So I can write this first term like this, plus v by c square de prime by dt prime times dt prime by dt. So I can write these two terms in this manner. So this dt prime by dt, this is common in both the terms, so this can be taken outside. So dt prime by dt. So this dpx prime by dt prime. So as we have seen that dpx by dt is nothing but x component of the force in S frame. And similarly, dpx prime by dt prime is nothing but the x component of the force in s prime frame. So this will be gamma times fx prime plus v by c square dE prime by dt prime times dt prime by dt. Similarly, we can do the time derivative. So fy will be nothing but dpy by dt, and that will be nothing but time derivative of the right hand side. So this can be written as dpy prime by dt. So in the denominator you will have the t variable. So this can be written as dpy prime by dt can be written as dpy prime by dt prime times dt prime by dt. So this will be just equal to the previous step. So fy is nothing but equal to, now dpy prime by dt prime is nothing but the y component of the force in s prime frame. So this will be fy prime times dt prime by dt. And similarly, we can find the z component of the force. So fz is equal to dpz by dt. So this can be written as dpz prime by dt, and this can be written as, in turn this can be written as dpz prime by dt prime into dt prime by dt. So this will be just equal to the previous step. So fz will be equal to this expression, and fz will be in turn equal to, now dpz prime by dt prime is nothing but the z component of the force in s prime frame times dt prime by dt. Now to find the expression of fx, fy, fz in terms of fx prime, fy prime, fz prime, we have found these three relations. So we have found these three relations. Now to find the exact formula, first of all we need to find dE prime by dt prime. The formula of the expression of dE prime by dt prime has to be found out, and also dt prime by dt. So we have to find this dt prime by dt and also dE prime by dt prime. So we will find these terms in the next lecture, and then we will substitute them over here, and we will get the final relation of the forces in the unprimed frame in terms of the forces in the primed frame. So that we will cover in the next lecture.